Alright, let's go, people. Oops. See what we got. So the 138. And the 71. Holy. Diggs is a 71 now.
Is he?
And wait, is this right? Wait, what is going on? Oh no. My ranking is still messed up.
You stupid.
He should be a 71.
Yeah, he should.
I think with Diggs, I think the Texans only traded for him because Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Stroud all have so much potential that they don't really have any intention of him being a long-term thing there. It's the same thing with Robert Woods too. They signed him. He's like a 10-year vet with like 8,000 yards. They signed him with no intention of him being on the team this year.
Same with DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. And then traded for Diggs. Mixon they traded for and then signed him up. So I think he's a long-term thing there. I mean, obviously, but
Dude, we could stop him at the goal line. Real easy like.
But yeah, I mean, Stroud and Dell were on their first year last year, so why not bring in Diggs and then have him for a year and ditch him? Plus, he was signed for 2 or 3 years too, and they changed his contract. So they definitely just got him to train up their guys because he's 10,000 yard receiver.
He'll get his reps.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll get hurt. Just like all the other receivers did on that team last year. Whole team was hurt.
Ooh. This is interesting. Would you take Puka Nacua or Michael Pittman Jr.?
We'll take Puka.
Yeah. I don't think it's really that close.
He's young. He's hungry. Had a monster year.
And he's on a bad team that has a good offense, though. So,
Yeah. Stafford's cool. He'll be ready to throw a ball.
okay, we'll change it up.
Cooper Cup, too. That guy's a game changer.
11 and 20. So we got Barkley. I keep getting Michael Pittman Jr.
This motherfucker just changed the game.
So Devontae Adams or Pittman Jr.? So Pittman Jr.'s only completed one full season. Devontae Adams actually stayed healthier than Pittman Jr., which is crazy because he's 31. You kind of have to think if Devontae Adams is going to fall back a little bit just because he's 31. But I mean, game talks. So when you got 6,500 receiving yards in 4 years. Yeah, 6,500 yards in 4 years. Like, that is. I'm wrong. 5,500. 1,380 yards a year. Who's the Raiders' offensive coordinator? Does anybody know? They have a very, very favorable schedule. Yeah, they have a very, winnable schedule in the first 10 years. Baltimore, I think it's going to take a while to figure it out just because they have a new defensive coordinator and they were really showing him in the preseason. So I think he's going to struggle a little bit. I mean, you're not going to get that same type of production no matter what. And the Chargers are going to take a while to figure it out. Same with the Panthers because they have a new head coach. So these first 3 games, you'd imagine that the Raiders are going to be competitive or winning. And then you got Cleveland and Denver and Pittsburgh. So it kind of gets a little more messy. And then after the bye, it gets pretty brutal for the Raiders. But, these first 9 games, they could win half of them, which is not what you think of expect out of the Raiders, but schedule wise, very favorable for the Raiders. Gets rough for them, but they got Nathan Peterman. I forgot that. Tulu Griffin. What else the Raiders got? Devontae Adams had a son. Luke Getsky. Marvin Lewis. Oh, good lord. Actually, that's kind of a nice hire. 27-year NFL coaching veteran. 43 total years of coaching experience. DeAndre Pierce. I like how they have the experience on here too, like they're players in the league. They got this dude. Yeah, he coached Davante Adams, sure. Two years as offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. That ranks second in the NFL in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing yards per game. That's pretty nice. Under his guidance, wide receiver DJ Moore registered career highs in receptions and yards and touchdowns. Thirty thousand rushing yards. I mean, this dude has a resume. Luke Getsy. He's back with Davante Adams too. It's kind of a sneaky signing. I mean, as a coordinator, he's been pretty decent. I don't know why the Bears would move on from him, but maybe, I don't know. It seems like Bears fashion to let this dude walk, and then he's gonna come to the Raiders and get him to the playoffs. Wow, good job, Bears. Jeez. This dude has played a lot of. Jeez. He bounced around the league as a coordinator. So he's got his son in here too. I don't know. Raiders have a pretty good have some pretty good coaches. I'm not gonna lie. And then Pittman Jr. You know, you probably expect him to be another 1,000-yard receiver. Maybe get his touchdowns up. Just got paid. That was pretty smart to pay him. 6'4", 230. Dude could be in the NBA if he had like 4.5 speed. Let's see what they got. Wait, who is this? He's from Overland Park. That's cool. I'm from Kansas City, so... And that's really close. From University of Kansas. So this dude just went off the Legion of Boom. Was fired by the Seahawks following the wildcard loss to the Rams. I'm not gonna lie, not looking good for him. This guy looks cool. Yeah, their coaches look a lot worse than the Raiders. They got Mike Zimmer's or... Oh, no. Oh, no. The Vikings Cowboys are going to collapse, I'm guessing. They got Mike Zimmer, Mr. Win 7 games a year. Bunch of other dudes I never even seen. Like, a bunch of rookie dudes, too. They got one guy with some experience. This guy just ran off the Legion of Boom's back. Like, of course, Russell Wilson had the best offense. They had Marshawn Lynch, prime Marshawn Lynch, and then they had one of the best defenses like of the millennium. So, I mean, you'd hope that the Seahawks had a good offense, and then he hasn't really. He's coordinated for the Jaguars before Doug Peterson got there. This dude looks like a creep.
Come on, That is messed up.
He does.
Out of line.
I know who he looks like, but I'm not gonna say it. This guy's hairline is messed up. Yeah, Cowboys got some bums at their coaching squad. Yeah, this is bad. Who's this? He looks pretty smart. Oh, just the guy that was with Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Worked so good the first time. Bring him back. You got one ring out of Aaron Rodgers' career.
Aaron Rodgers is not that great. He's proven it over and over.
Come on, man. He's hurt. Wow. Alright, well, Cowboys are definitely collapsing this year. Mike Zimmer is not going to save you guys. This guy looks like a movie star. He should do that instead. With Kellen Moore, like, all the names that are attached to these guys' careers are, like, just bad. Terrible. They have a terrible, terrible coaching staff. Mike Zimmer is washed. 22. Let's move on. I already went over the Raiders. They've stacked. They've stacked. Coaching staff. 15. Kyron Williams. Oh man, we keep getting the same people. I think anybody that works with Sean McVay is gonna be all right. Puka, nice. Same coaching staff. Do you rather take Kyron or Puka? Probably Kyron or Puka. I don't know, honestly. Kyron or Puka. This guy did lead all rookies all time in catches. And Kyron is just a Greek god. So, with all that into account, he's injured his rookie year too. He got injured and then, everybody knows what happened in his second year. I'm gonna go with Puka. Just because Sean McVay loves receivers, and he coached Cooper Kupp to have 2,000 yards. So, I mean, the rest of his career wasn't that great, but he did have a nice 2019. And, I mean, his career honestly hasn't even been his fault. He's just been injured. He only had 2 full seasons. And 2 full seasons he had, stacked stats. So, I had a 3rd round pick too. Love to see it. Anyways, I go Puka. Number 4, Bijan. Alright, let's look at the Falcons. Coaches, I guess. Very exciting content here. But we can't even watch highlights. I watched like 10 minutes of these Browns. Not even 10 minutes. I watched like 2 minutes of these Browns highlights. And YouTube gave me an alert telling me to take it down. I was like, wow. This 1 minute of Jerome Ford highlights with no audio. How did you guys figure it out that quick? So, Google's definitely got some crazy engines going on. They gotta have some skyscrapers with giant PCs in them. Alright, let's check them out. This dude, he's been with the Rams. they're interesting. And they got this dude. Yeah, they've all just been in LA. It's at the University of Washington. That was crazy. If this dude was coaching the Washington's offense this year, like they would have won every game. They were a top defensive unit. He's on Washington staff too. Ooh, the Falcons coaching staff is nice. I think pretty much everybody on the Washington staff in 2018 to 2019 was like just goated, like for no reason. They had Mike McDaniel, they had Kyle Shanahan, they had Sean McVay, like three of the best offensive minds in the last decade have all come from there. So I'd imagine if this dude was also in Washington, like he's gonna get a head coaching job, and then he's just gonna be like one of the best defensive minds of all time. Like, wow, you guys could have thrown a dartboard at your coaching staff, and instead you ended up with Ron Rivera and whoever else. I forgot. I don't even remember who the last Commanders head coach was. Anyways, they get a nice top three. They got some cool looking dudes in here, especially this guy. He looks cool. It's cool. They got a old running back. Hey. Why is she even listed on here though? The other people didn't have these coaching operation assistants listed. Anyways, the Falcons, they should be a wild card team. They should win some games for sure. None of these guys have too much experience. I just think that's because they are in Atlanta, so Atlanta probably wasn't high on the pecking order for old veteran coaches to go to, but at the Raiders, they have a stacked coaching staff, so I don't know why the Raiders could pick all these people up. Falcons are like kind of trying to develop their own people, it seems like, but none of these dudes are really like old veterans or have like stacked resumes attached to their names. Falcons will definitely, I think the Falcons will definitely make the playoffs this year, and if not this year, next year. And it's not like they've had like crazy drafts or anything too. Like they get like 1 to 2 good pieces every draft, and then whoever they sign in free agency is usually bad until Jesse Bates came around. So, and then Calais Campbell was okay, but kind of overshadowed when your team is terrible. Anyways, Falcons will definitely be making the playoffs with that coaching staff. Chris Olave. Okay, I've been one of the Saints' biggest fans. And I think this offseason, I think the Saints definitely win the division, but it's either win the division or this dude's getting fired. They look like they got some out of touch people. They have a lot of white guys. Oh man. Alright, let's see. 32-year coaching veteran. Here, we'll go over them in a sec. Let's see who I'd rather take. So, Chris Olave or 14, Jahmyr Gibbs. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay, that's tough. But obviously the upside is like there. Let's look at Chris Olave first. His stats are nice. He just never lives up to the expectations others put onto him, and he didn't have too crazy of a college career. He was drafted 11th overall, but even from college, he's just steadily like improved, and then he even improves more, and then he even improves more. So Chris Olave's upside is definitely there. He has the talent to be a top 5 receiver in the league, not just for fantasy, but just in catches and yards. And he's gotten better, but he's only in his 3rd year. I don't know. Olave is interesting. I think the Lions have a lot more. I think the Lions have a lot more favorable schedule. Offensive line, defense. They have a lot more hype around them. They have a lot more potential to win the Super Bowl this year than the Saints do. But I mean, he's already hurt to start the season off. So is he a better fantasy threat than David Montgomery? I think for sure. And that's not a hot take whatsoever, but he pulled his hamstring. 2nd most running back yards and attempts. So they ran the ball a ton, but I think just their defense kind of pulled them around in the back end and pulled them to. He had a couple 30-point games, so I mean I think he scored more points than how many fantasy points did he score? He had 242. I bet he has more than Olave. Yeah. He had more points than Olave as a running back. So, obviously, Olave was... I mean, they were both hurt, too. So... Oh, man. Health-wise... I'd go Gibbs. He's just a receiving threat, and I guess, I mean, the Lions didn't really throw it too much. I mean, they did to Gibbs, and... 5.2 yards per carry. Man, Gibbs or Olave? I'd have to go Gibbs if he can stay healthy, just because he's a running back. He had more points than Olave. And he had a horrible championship, so that kind of sucks. But he did play Dallas, so he only had 200-yard rushing games. So I definitely expect them to do more than that this year, especially because it's against Denver and the Raiders, like two bad defenses. He's he's a monster catching threat, and then it just kind of went down over the season. So I think teams kind of played to stop him from getting catches, and then the Lions just kind of they fell off a little bit. I remember the Dallas game; they lost in the end, but they kept it close to Dallas, honestly. And you kind of wouldn't expect that with Gibbs. Like I always think, like every Thanksgiving year when I was growing up, is the Lions just getting ruined, and then the Cowboys would like be doing good on Thanksgiving. They'd always have a competitive year or game on Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'll go. I like Olave's potential to be wide receiver one. I do not like. I don't like the Saints. I don't like the Saints. I only like the Saints because they have such a good schedule. They have such a good opportunity to win the division this year. So, I mean, if you go with any divisional winner in the entire NFL, if you have one of the biggest names on that division winner, then like you're gonna be good. And I don't see the Lions winning the division. They could, but I think the Packers have a little bit of a. Um, I think the Packers have a little bit of a better offensive line. Um, that might be a casual take. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, I like Gibbs. I like Gibbs a lot. They have a really good. They have a monster schedule, like rushing wise. They play some of the worst teams this year and last year, like that against the run, and those teams didn't get much better either in the trenches or defensively or playing calling wise. So the Lions definitely have a more favorable schedule to for Gibbs to be a top five running back in the league. It's if he can stay healthy and if the rest of the lines can stay healthy. And I mean that's pretty much it. If Gibbs is good to go, then he's good to go, and I think they're going to use him more. Um, Especially because David Montgomery isn't the biggest threat catching the ball. Where's he at? He only he had 16 catches last year, so Gibbs is more versatile and he was more efficient running the ball. Um, David Montgomery might stay as that goal line threat too. That's probably why he wasn't as efficient, just because he had so many goal line runs and they trusted him more to have the ball. Hey, fantasy dog, you a dog for bringing that up. I dude, I like the Saints to win the division. I keep seeing these people online, and they are like the Saints are gonna be terrible. They're gonna be horrible. Like if you look past their offensive line metrics, which everybody everybody brings up with the Saints, it's like the team is absolutely stacked. Carr is not as bad as everybody says. Hey, thanks, Fantasy Dog. I appreciate it. I think that means my take is not too bad. I appreciate you, but yeah, man, I think the Saints, if you just look past the offensive line, which is a very important part of the team, they have a top 10 running back, not fantasy wise, just normally. Um, Even if he lost a step, he'd still be top 10. I mean, he had some monster games last year, and the year before, he was an absolute beast. So even if Kamara falls off a bit, um, and then Olave, he was 16th, like top half in the league for number one receivers. Like that is pretty good, especially with all the shaky quarterback play. And I don't know. I think Carr's gonna put it together, and if the offensive line can just hold it together, so Carr can like sit in the pocket every once in a while. Like if Carr has time, he's not a bad quarterback, but I will see. I feel like offensive line metrics are always skewed, like compared to who the Saints played last year. I mean, obviously they're not gonna be as good, but what do you think? I think the Saints will be a division winner, and having Olave on your team won't be too bad. And then Gibbs, very I like his schedule a lot. If he can stay healthy, he'll be a top 5 in the league. I think no doubt. On my running back rankings, he was top 5, and it's all health wise. But anyways, let's shake it up. That that Saints coaching staff didn't look great though. Oh, number 1, we all know McCaffrey. I made a short about him. A.T. Perry too. Oh, that's a nice pull. He could be a good backup. Like a good A.T. Perry. He could be a good bench bench stash. Let's go number 11, Saquon Barkley. Oof, tough. Let's check out their team, see what they got going on. I haven't looked in depth at the Eagles. I just know that they are winning the division, like undoubtedly. Like there's not a doubt in my mind that the Eagles don't win the division. What do you think? I don't even know where he goes. Like I don't really. He's one of those guys that let's check him out. You might be crazy. You must be a fantasy dog too, if you're looking that far down the list. Uh, what? Where is he? Just not? Is he a? Yeah, he's a receiver. Yeah, you must be in a lot of leagues, or some stacked leagues. Where is this dude even at? Oh, okay. Dang, he had a pretty good he had a pretty good year for sure. This is a good poll, dude. This is a good poll. Plus, he ended the top 100, which is crazy because nobody even talked about him at all. Second year too. Ooh, let's check him out. Best ball only. Yeah, you're deep in your bag for that. You are deep in your bag. 1,200 yards for Wake Forest. Yeah, 6'5". You said 6'4". You had a good preseason. Wow, you were crazy for that fantasy dog. Yeah, this is ESPN. I'm in a 12 man, but I'm also in a 16 man. So I might be looking to this dude. Is that your biggest pull? Like I definitely think the Saints are gonna win the division, and Shaheed is good, but he's kind of got the same profile as Chris Olave, which isn't bad. I think Olave's gonna help him out a lot, but Shaheed did not do much in his first year. He's always been like a deep ball threat. Yeah, I might look more into A.T. Perry. Who else do the Saints got? Oh wow, Bub Means. Wow. All right. Well, I'll have to go with you on that. I'm not gonna lie. You got him at the You got him at the Z, and then Olave at the X. I mean, I don't know how else you'd play it. Shaheed at the Y. I mean, I'm not expecting Bub Means to do much. Could be a couple 100-yard guy, but somebody's gonna have to get the ball. I mean, it's not gonna be Cedric Wilson. He's more of a special teams type of player, more of a and this guy's definitely not getting the ball. Yep. I like it. I like it a lot. I haven't heard that name in a while, and I hadn't really scouted him, but I will definitely look into him with like if he can stay healthy, he could be very nice, especially being in his third year. The Saints have the most tenured coach in the A.T. Perry. They have the most tenured coach in the division, which is crazy. Oh man. Deeper than that. BB only. BB only. Clint Kubiak. This guy has a only one. Yeah, dude. I do a lot of mock drafts, and I'm like the only one that'll like in the 12 man. I'm like the only one that'll pick Khalil Herbert. I'm like the only one that'll pick Michael Wilson. Like I never see that dude go. I'm like, you guys really think Marvin Harrison Jr. is just gonna take 190 targets? Like, this dude's really selling me on A.T. Perry. Then I'm gonna get him, and jeez. Give me a sec. Hold on. Cordarrelle Patterson. See, I don't know about that one. Where is he? Oh, oh, you're kind of goated for that. It's kind of a goated suggestion. I'm not gonna lie. Patterson is interesting, and what's his name is probably the type to give it to him no matter what. Old boy. What's his name? I just forgot. Arthur Smith. Yeah, nobody's. Arthur Smith definitely seems like the dude that's going to be giving him the rock. Like the Saints and the Steelers, just their career or their season's over. They're like 5-8. Nobody agrees with you. You got that's two pretty good polls. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Patterson is tough because he's 300th ranked, so I don't think anybody's even looking into him. Plus, he didn't do jack last year. He's like 35 years old. 33. That's crazy. I was being like ridiculous, and it's still pretty close. Yeah. It'll be interesting with Arthur Smith, too. And you bring that up because he never even got to really run his offense in Atlanta. Like, he had this, like, I don't know. You could always just kind of tell he never really got to run with who he wanted. I don't know if the GM was like being told more by if it was like a what's his name, David Tepper situation, the Panthers dude, the Panthers owner. Oh, I do have a question for you. I don't know if the Panthers owner was always involved in the drafting process, or Arthur Smith just has no gauge of talent, or like how he wanted to run his offense. But it never seemed like he had the personnel to do it, and I think Justin Fields kind of fits that archetype for Arthur Smith's offense. So that'll be interesting. I put the under on Russell Wilson's passing yards because I don't think he does anything this year. I think if he's the starter, he's getting pulled. If not, then he's getting thrown in, against a real team that the Steelers play. It's kind of a lose-lose situation for Russell Wilson on the Steelers this year. And I don't think they want to do any good by him because they don't care. And then, yeah. 30% exposure. UD and drafters. I don't know what you mean. 600 drafts, UD and drafters. Oh, under. Hey, that's all I need to hear. Oh, so question for you. All right, who you got? Who you got winning the AFC North? I'll give you a second. Well, Bolt. Mm. They got they got superstars on their team. I'll give you that. I think the Bengals win it. Dude, the Bengals schedule is one of the worst in the league, and it's like not even funny. Check this out. Just the first 4 weeks, all right? You get the Patriots, rookie quarterback. Got the Chiefs, get them early. Chiefs usually take a while to get ramped up, anyways, unless they play some poverty team like the Jaguars or the. We even played the Bears early last year. And they got another rookie quarterback. Wow. 2 out of 3, Jaden Daniels. Then they basically have another. They have a rookie head coach and basically a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young, because that was not a good rookie year for him to learn anything. He learned what not to do, how to not prepare. And then, they got some divisional games and it's difficult, but then they play Tennessee, and I think by this point, this pretty much all these teams, maybe not the Chargers, but I think the Chargers season will be about over by then. They'll be, 5-7 going at them, trying to get the win. They might have some wins, but I don't think anybody would pick Easton Stick over Joe Burrow. And then the Steelers, who will probably be falling apart by then. The Cowboys, who will definitely be falling apart by then. Tennessee won't have any playoff hopes by that point. Maybe sneak into the wild card. They got the Broncos in the championship. They'll be firing Sean Payton by then. So I think the Bengals are the best. Might be crazy, and nobody has talked about it, but I think the Bengals have the best opportunity to win the division. Just because schedule matchup, I don't know how it could get any easier than these first 6 weeks and then these last 6 weeks. They got kind of a, rough going here when they play the Browns and Eagles and Raiders, but is anybody really scared of the Ravens this year? They just lost the defensive coordinator people call mini Belichick, so I don't know. I'm not afraid of Lamar Jackson. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I knew he wasn't doing crap in the playoffs. You just cannot read Spags' defense. He never knows what's going on. He always plays like dirt against Spags, and I think it gets to Harbaugh too, because they just overall don't show out against the Chiefs, and it's a team that's fallen back. I think the biggest challenge to that though is the Browns. They don't have the greatest receiver core, but Browns should though I think they'll make it interesting. They might make a run for the division. Who knows? The AFC North is always like a dartboard at who's winning the division that year. AFC North are the kings of going on a Super Bowl run and making it to the Super Bowl, or making it to the AFC Championship, making it to the divisional, and wrecking teams, and then after that Super Bowl run, almost getting it or winning, then they're out. Whatever team that is, the Ravens, Bengals. Browns will be interesting. But I think right now, and plus the Browns play like, I think these first 4 games will be more competitive than people are like giving them. Like the Jaguars, they have a very hungry team this year. The Cowboys will be the best they are. Like in the first week, they play the same dirty teams, but snake bit. What does that mean? Oh yeah. Experiencing bad luck or failure. Yeah. I just think, and this is other than schedule, and until I went like really in depth over the schedules, I didn't see the Bengals doing much, but now I do. I think, um, I think the NFL is gonna rig it up so that, yeah, I think the NFL rigs it up so Mahomes has to go to Cincinnati before going for the three-peat, either in the divisional or the AFC Championship. Because the way they rigged it last year, like, I mean, that was insane. I was reading that like 3 weeks ahead. I was like, yep. I was telling my dad, and I have the text too. It's like, yep, we're going to have Dolphins, then we're going to have the Bills, then we're going to have the Ravens, then we're going to have the 49ers. That's exactly what happened. And I wasn't really into sports betting at the time. I'm a little more into it, but especially mid-season last year. But I was like, shoot, I should have just put all those bets in for that to happen. And that's exactly what happened. The Browns fell off. The Texans weren't real threats that everybody said they were. And the Steelers were the Steelers. So, I mean, the NFL couldn't rig it up too much. I mean, all those teams were going to lose anyways. But I think if the NFL has its way, they'll get the Chiefs going to Cincinnati one of these playoff games. So that means they're going to try and get Cincinnati to have a better record than the Chiefs. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think for the three-peat run, they'll want that Cincinnati game. And I think they'll want a Miami rematch, no doubt. So that's 2 of the games. And then, whatever type of I'm guessing Aaron Rodgers too. I'm guessing for the three-peat, and all these teams will be contenders anyways, but I'm guessing they'll want Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes to have that matchup for the three-peat. And they'll want the Bengals again and the Chiefs to go into Cincinnati this time, because the Bengals had to come to Arrowhead both times. And then it'll be like the Dolphins too. They'll want the Tyreek Hill matchup. And then whatever team comes out of the NFC, probably the Lions or Packers. I guess maybe the Eagles again. Probably those teams would be my NFC favorites. I think that the NFL would be winning with any of them too, because everybody would be rooting for the Lions, everybody would be rooting for the Packers, and they have a big fan base. So I kind of feel like I have a good vision for how the NFL season's going to go and how they're going to try and want to, get these playoff teams to look and stuff like that. Get these matchups to look again. But if last year was any type of example, like the NFL is good at getting in who they want. You know, some of it's random. Like some teams are definitely just win games that they shouldn't, and win the weird parts of their schedule, end up making it. But overall, it seems like it's always the NFL always kind of gets its way when it comes to the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. So what better matchup than, and that might be the NFC Championship. Yeah, Dan Campbell, Campbell soup. And we haven't seen the Eagles Lions play in the playoffs either, so I'm guessing that'll be either the divisional or the conference championship next year. But back to your point. That was a random tangent. Um, no, I don't do redraft. I haven't tried it actually, but uh, like, how does it work? Is there like 32 people in it, and then you're like competing for all? Hey, I'm telling you, dude. I've had a good amount of free time lately, so I'm out here predicting the playoffs for next year. And I feel like most of what I'm saying is going to be right. Like, it's all a matchup thing. Like, they got the Mahomes going back to the Bills. They got the Tyreek Hill matchup they wanted. And the Bengals, um, they were like supposed to be. They were favorites to win the conference last year. So chances are they'll fulfill those expectations. The Bengals will at least make the playoffs. I think that's pretty much guaranteed, just based off the schedule. They play the AFC West. Like, there's probably 3 free wins right there. And the Chiefs, they might beat the Chiefs too because it's week 2. So they might be 4-0, and it doesn't really matter how the divisional games go with the Bengals. They'll probably split the Steelers at least, so win a couple of those. Win a couple. I forgot who they play in the NFC. It seems like you know your. How does the redraft work though? I'm curious now. Like, this team is. If I had a bunch of money, I would like put it on the Bengals to make the playoffs. Oh man. Best ball. 18 out of 20 players win your pot of 12 teams, advance to the playoffs. Best scores at regular positions. So you have to score better than everybody. You have to pick the best players out of everybody. Is there like a playoff bracket, or is it just solely based off? Okay. So it is like a playoff bracket. Best ball, pick 18 out of 20 players. Win your pot of 12. Advance to playoffs. I'm just getting more involved in it, but I feel like this year is like the most predictable it's been. Like, it's pretty predictable. I mean, some divisions are. The AFC South is a is a random ball. And same with the who else? Who else is hard to predict? When your division advanced. Oh. So wait, are there matchups every year or every week? Oh, I mean, I guess if you pick your lineup. Oh man, how much money are we talking here? You're crazy for that. I think I do okay, but picking 20 people, I'd be good about for 12 rounds, and then I'd just be picking playoff teams at that point. Come on, Darnell Mooney. Actually, he goes higher than he should, but yeah, most. Wow. And I'm here telling you about stuff. Um, Mooney goes about 50, but should go. Mm-hmm. Me sitting at 12, I'm thinking about what if Justin Jefferson falls? Justin Jefferson would be better off with one of those football machines. Just shoot the ball up into the air. He'll go catch it. Be better than Sam Darnold. I'm like, shoot, if Jefferson could fall to 12, or kind of mess the order up with Garrett Wilson and then get Garrett Wilson to fall. Oh man, that is crazy. So I'm still curious. Let's get off this Bengals BS. Oh yeah, but I think to wrap that up, I think Zach Moss is going to be very solid. People just don't have any knocks on him. Like he wasn't the most efficient, but neither were a ton of other people. And then they're like, "Oh, he's a journeyman running back." Well, I don't think that really matters. Yeah, I'm. I still need to edit, and I was just gonna start editing if nobody hopped in here, but I'm doing a top 50 running backs list of people I think that are gonna be great or good. It's not the best list, like it's not completely uh, like my views, but it's good for me to practice talking, and I feel like I have some good insight. Like some dude hopped in here the other night, and I convinced him the Packers were gonna be good. I'm like, yeah, dude, they got a very nice schedule. Yeah, appreciate you hopping in. I'm gonna learn more about the redraft stuff too. Dude, $4,000. I picked I kind of have some money wrapped up in it too. I picked all the division winners. So if I get all 8 right, um, I'll get I'll get like $15,000 on like $30 of bets. Yeah, PPR and half PPR. Yeah. Really? Dang. You just have to pick the best performer for every week for the entire season. It's not that hard. Sorry. Big money. All right. Um. Who else? Now that you're in here, I feel like I gotta change it up. I think Chuba Hubbard is kind of disrespected overall. Who do we got? Who do we got that I think is going to be fit? Good players. Obviously, Chiefs defense. One of the best play callers. Who do we got back here? Like, I don't know. ESPN is. Their rankings are just terrible. Like, if people actually draft in this order, then I'm just gonna make a killing. Um, Dontavian Wicks had that 60-yard bomb in the preseason. And I like him because he's a second year receiver. So Green Bay's not going to, I'd imagine they're not going to pick Christian Watson unless he has an all time great year. So I feel like Mr. Matt LaFleur is going to, work on trying to develop Dontavian Wicks' rapport with Jordan Love, work on developing Jaden Reed's. Like, why would you keep cranking out all these snaps? Hey, I appreciate you. According to their team needs. Yeah, it'd be cool to kind of push it into like talking about everybody's weekly matchups and recapping uh, recapping the week with people, stuff like that. This is my brother's idea. He's like, dang, that'd be really fun actually. But where's Christian at? Gosh, this guy's up here. Like, don't you have to perform? He was outperformed by Tom Davian Wicks. Like, he has all the, and it's been that since he got drafted. He has the Measurables. I mean, he's in year 3. I thought he's in year 4. He's in year 3. But it's also like these guys are a year younger. Um, weekly matchups. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Is there a big market for redrafts? Like, is there a ton of people in it? I've heard the term kicked around, but I just haven't looked into it. Like, I know the like fantasy dog or whatever, you can do that, but what is it called? Like that you could do that, but I'm like, what? I don't know. It just seems crazy to be trying to predict millions play. Okay. So it's basically like, yeah, it's like what I'm talking about. 30 million people play. That's crazy. Yeah, I've just been trying to dang, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh. So you drafted off the week, basically. Does your team play out the whole season that you get with redraft? Or is it just a week? I'm so interested now. And it's bad because I just did all the schedule stuff, all the division stuff, and all that. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So you probably won 4,000, and then you just reinvested it. I mean, some of the stuff is okay. That's crazy. Um. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of bad. I'm interested now because I just did all the divisional stuff. I did the schedule stuff, like the playoff stuff I was just telling you about a little bit. 51-2 playoff run. Well, that's crazy. So no wonder you're seeking out fantasy football stuff. You're trying to replicate going 51-2. This guy can stay healthy. He's gonna be a menace. Also, let me know if you agree with this. Josh Downs will be a beast at some point in his career. My prediction is that Mr. Man himself, where's he at? Yeah, I forgot he was so criminally underrated. I think this guy's going to be a top 5 player in the top 5 receiver in the next 2 years. $16 teams with Lamar, 28 Kelsey, and 31 New England. Yeah, Kelsey has been a real dog. Lamar's been hit or miss. Did Lamar around 115? So getting Lamar. Oh, Yeah, in his MVP season. Wait, are you participating in these right now? Yeah, I think Tank Dell is going to be. He could be top 5 this year. I think he'll definitely be top 5 next year if it doesn't happen this year. Every time I watch film on this guy, I'm like, man, like this guy looks like better than anybody out of his own draft class. Like even better than the first round guys. I thought he looked way better than Jordan Addison. Like he was getting more open. He had better footwork. Yeah. Let's check it out. Yeah. So you just so you really have to know your stuff. 'What? Okay. I'll do the Yahoo later. Is your redraft stuff PPR too? Three receivers. Oh. I feel like you're a fantasy dog. All right, we'll just let that go for a sec till it pops up. Yep. Do you like Tank Dell though? I just think he's amazing. I haven't seen. He's just so good. Like, and he's from Houston too. He went to Houston College. Like, just a match made in heaven. And if Stroud can keep that same pocket presence this year, and like have Mixon to actually run the ball a bit. Oh, okay. I know the difference. So the redraft is a little more competitive. Best ball, it's like, well, sorry. Touchdown catches. Yep. People were so biased though with analysts and people that do this type of stuff. They're so biased sometimes, but I don't know. They don't see stuff for how it is, like how it is. So I'll just test a best ball. I got randomly thrown in third. He's just, I don't know. I think it's just his hips, his footwork. Every time I watch highlights, I'm like, psh. Even back to college. Yeah, I appreciate you, dude. It's all just opinion based, anyways. But definitely going to do the top 50 running backs thing. I'll make like a whole long video of it, and it's basically like I don't. It's not how the running backs are gonna end up. Like this guy was Kyron. It was the seventh, and I predicted that. It's more like how I think like the potential. Here, I have it. I have the list of what I based it off of. I based it off of schedule, fantasy, playoff impact, system, surrounding team, and realistic expectations. Heck yeah, dude. Hop in the Discord. Can run the dual show. '94 November. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. It's weird. My stuff is a little biased too. I like to base my predictions off how teams play the Chiefs. Not all predictions, obviously. Like I watch games and film, but like I'm not gonna call you a contender if the Chiefs beat you. Let's see the score. Yeah, 41-10. Like I'm just not. I'm not gonna say anything about the Bears' chances of winning the division or making wild card because they got the same coach that lost 41-10 in their off. I mean, it's not all the coach. Like their offensive line looked a dog. So like, I'm not gonna put any type of expectations onto the Bears when they got the same coach, the same line, just a different QB. Like you can't just throw some band-aids on the Bears organization and yep. Like no. Like they got beat down last year. Let's test it out. You can rate my picks too if you want. If I was at the 3. Who picked Breece Hall second though? But oh, you got your own show. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I thought redraft was paid though. Heck yeah, dude. I found a good I found a real channel. This guy's cool. If you wanna this guy's so cool. Ball is love. I just found him. He just breaks news. And every time I click on kind of reason, hey, I appreciate you, dude. Appreciate the encouragement. I'm just so late to the party. Like I'm doing running back rankings for your redraft, but there's like 3 weeks until the season. Like I should have been on this a couple months ago, but yeah, this guy's cool. Look, Balls Love. He just talks about. I think he's a Chargers fan, and he's just reliving his prime playing the Chargers. And ooh, this is tough. But yeah, like I don't really know many. I watched this guy. He said the Saints weren't gonna win like 5 games. I'm like, okay, what? This guy was cool, but nobody's actually like spot on. This one dude did power rankings, and he's doing power ranking of the offenses, and like most of the teams he picked for just offenses were teams making the playoffs. In like my opinion, I'm like, dang. Go for the positional advantage. If Pittman can stay healthy, he'll be a good pick. Health is a concern, but yeah, the Balls Love dude though. He's so cool, and I don't know, he just gives his opinion on the situation afterwards too. He's just playing a Chargers game out, and he's like talking crap on the Jets organization. I'm like, man, this guy's good. Like, he should get more views for sure. Mm-hmm. Let's see who else. Who else is primed for a big year? Oh, another pick I really love. My second favorite running back in the draft. Might be casual take. Marshawn Lloyd. He's my favorite one out of the draft. Yeah, I picked him early. Devontae Adams was there. I think they'll be good. Probably should have picked him, but he's just so old. And I really like the I like James Cook over Mixon and Kelsey and Drake London, but I really like the Bills offensive coordinator. My bold prediction is Sean McDermott gets canned this year and the offensive coordinator takes his job after the Bills miss the playoffs. Even with a good offense still. Ooh, Neighbors went right before me. That's tough. I mean, clearly Brandon Ayuk. Gonna ask you questions. Yeah, we'll just role play like, yeah, I'm the guy to ask over your knowledge of the game. Who am I thinking here? I like Tank Dell, but I don't need a third. Probably McBride. One of them. What do you mean? Accommodate my channel to that? Oh, somebody took McBride. I hate you guys. I'll go CJ Stroud because I already have my tight end prospect. I'm a top math guy, excellent at sports, no time to watch football. Top math guy, excellent at sports, no time to watch football. How do you go off math in football though? Like, I'm a math guy too, for sure. Acclimated my channel to accommodate the millions wanting my informed opinion. I'm doing shorts. I'm gonna do 50 plus shorts talking about all these players. Do you like Evan Ingram this year? I like upside of other players more. Evan Ingram is a safe bet. He has weapons around him. It's all about the number. Oh yeah, with where you pick. Is that what you're talking about? Who do I like over Evan Ingram? who I like over Evan Ingram is. Here, let's just go over the tight ends I like over him. It's not that I don't like him. He's probably a top 5 in my full PPR. There's just guys I like over him. Let's we'll just go with Rice. Full PPR, he's ranked 8th. Oh, full PPR. What do you mean? Because he's 2nd for me. Okay, tight ends I like over Evan Ingram. I like Kelsey over Ingram. Big shocker. I like Laporta over Ingram. I like McBride and Kincaid over Ingram. And I like Jake Ferguson over Ingram. The rest of these bums, I'd rather take Evan Ingram over. The number your players score each week, redraft or best. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. At number 8, I think he's underrated at 8 for sure. Evan Ingram. Fergie 40 picks later in drafts. Ooh. I don't think he'd fall to me here. At 94. Can get Evan Ingram 40 and Fergie 40 picks later. Yeah, if you can get Ferguson like anywhere past, like, this is already way too far. Like, he should have been drafted. Ferguson should have been drafted like over Najee. Like, no doubt. He should have been. Yeah, he should have been up here a little more. I think he should have been top 70 in this one, but I guess we'll see. People point at like the Cowboys' targets last year, but like, he was number 2 on targets on the team last year. It's like, yeah, but how else is he going to get better? You have to target tight ends for them to get better. You can't just, keep having them work on footwork and working on their skills. Kittle hasn't gotten better because he doesn't get enough targets ever. Like, he can't get open, and he doesn't, have all the intricacies down as much as he can because he just stops getting targets. Like, 85 targets. How is George Kittle supposed to get better when you only give him 80 targets? Like, better as a pass catcher. Everybody loves his blocking, but yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I draft 12th overall. I told you that. And oh, it's my pick. Oh god. No. Okay. I'll just get him then. Yep. Where are we at? Yeah, I pick 60th and 61st. And I pick Ferguson there every time. I pick him over Pitts, Ingram, Njoku, obviously. I pick Kincaid over him sometimes. But, oh yeah, I definitely agree with you. Ferguson will definitely... I mean, if you just look at the film, like, dude is the closest thing I've ever seen to Travis Kelsey. So, if, like, once he gets all that zone, like, gets his zone work down more and gets his one-on-one down more and stuff, so he just keeps developing. And I think McCarthy's a great one to develop under. I think, yeah, Ferguson will be very nice. But my brother always roasts me because I picked him 60th in the draft. He's like, you're picking him 3 rounds early, or like 50 plus 45 early. I'm like, dude, it doesn't really matter your draft order or where you're picking. It just matters who shows up. So as long as you get your guy that you think is going to show up, it doesn't really matter where you pick him at. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir with you, but oh my gosh, my team is disgusting. The Pittman Jr. you could interchange for about anybody there, and I'm not used to drafting like this at the 3, but my team is nasty. I like it. My running backs could be a little spotty week to week, but and I might get Marshawn Lloyd too. I think Marshawn Lloyd will be a fantasy winner. And that's not even based off Josh Jacobs' health, just based off how dominant the Packers' offensive line looked at times. Like, Jordan Love had 10 seconds to throw in Dallas in the playoffs. Like, that's not just him. It's not just a scheme. Like, their offensive line was so good that, like, the Packers will be like the Lions this year. I'll pick him first. Hope Lloyd falls. The Packers will be in the same situation. I think they're gonna have to figure out how to run the ball more. They still have AJ Dillon, so that's good. And I think the Packers will want to run the ball more too. So I think Marshawn Lloyd he's gonna be good. He's gonna be very, very good. See, redraft is cool because then you can do the free agents. Like, how does that work in the best baller? So if you didn't get Kyren Williams in the draft, then he just sits on the bench. Learn how to play the games for real. You get a great chance to build a great channel, but you don't take players 3 rounds early. Noted. I mean, this is just I don't think this would be my content ever. Going like through the rounds. Just because I'm not knowledgeable enough. I think my content now will just be talking about players and ranking them how I think, and then just talking about their situation. Like, most people don't know that the Bengals oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it'll just be talking about player situations, my content right now. It'd be cool to really get into the draft stuff for sure. But I think I'll have to take another year to really. If you draft last, you have the first waiver pick. That's cool. Yeah. I think my content now will just be talking about player situations and coordinators like you saw when you came in here, I was looking at the Saints coaching staff, like just figuring out. I have some receivers. You want to see my team last year? Sorry, I keep scratching my face. Yeah, it'll just be going over like player situations and stuff. Like that'd be cool to like figure out A.T. Perry. Oh, okay. I thought the Bengals guy was you. Oh, hey, dude. Heck yeah. Guest analyst. That sounds awesome. So you gotta win like $10,000 and then. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was you. Dude, I'm sorry. Alright. Yeah, I thought that was you, and you're just in here to talk game, and I was like, that's a. I know some stuff. I want to, I don't know. I want to do this running back stuff first. I'll probably be posting like 3 or 4 times a day, shorts, and then from there, see how it goes, see if people liked it. Probably stream my draft for sure. The thing is, though, ooh, this is tough. I got 4 running backs. So when are you gonna start your channel? Love to support you too. I forgot how you look at this. Look at the history. Oh, history, dude. This draft last year. Yes. Last pick. Oh, just take a backup tight end, I guess. Look at my team. Like if this was this is my team, by the way. If this was my if this was what is it called? If this was an 8-man, by the way. But if this was, oh man, what is it called? I can't think of the name of a league when it's like it continues on. Like it's one draft and then whoever you get, you have to get rid of some players, but you legacy. this was legacy, I'd have 2, 3, 4. I'd have 4 of the top 10 running backs. This is my draft last year. I'd have 4 of the top I'd have 4 of the top 10 rated running backs this year. And then I'd have 2 top 10 receivers, another top 20. I'm telling you, dude. I'm freaking telling you. We had a couple casuals. Yes, Dynasty. If this is Dynasty, like, it'd be like. Just be time to restart. I feel people would have drafted differently if it was Dynasty, like, for sure. Can't just base it off that. Like, plus the people in the league probably wouldn't even be prepared for that either. But, and this is before I was even in depth. I was just like, oh wow, Chris Olave, CeeDee Lamb fell. Okay, let me pick him. Oh, Olave, yeah, dude. Like Olave fell. It just kept players just kept falling to me. It's like, oh, Mike Evans, Rachaad White, and I wasn't even in tune to this. Like I don't even remember. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, if it's Dynasty, this guy picked Juju. It's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, some of these people are definitely casuals, no doubt. But, anyways, this is my team in this draft. So, like, I've been him, and I wasn't even studying this stuff like I am now. Like, 5 of the top 10 rated running backs this year were players I picked. And then, like, I ain't playing for Kyron, but he just blew up, so couldn't really pick him. I was not knowledgeable of Breece Hall's game. So what was the Bengals channel you said? You just get some information off him. It's Bayou Bengal Fantasy Show. Yeah, sounds good, dude. I might 2 hours in. What am I gonna do? What was it? Oh, I will probably I'll probably look more into this. I'll go back to the spinner thing. Then we'll just kind of talk about whoever lands, whoever shows up. $129. Who is the 129th ranked prospect? Shakir. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know much about the Bills. But Shakir is the homegrown talent in this wide receiver room. He's been there the longest. He's been with the Bills the longest. He's been with Josh Allen the longest. He trained up with Stephon Diggs. He trained up with Gabe Davis. So he definitely, and he's young too. He's only 24 years old. So he's definitely had the mentors. He's had Sean McDermott too to learn from, which is fantastic. Played with Tre'Davious White, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So this guy has definitely gotten the mentors around him and has learned the best. He's also the longest standing man in the Bills room. You know, like there's vets that have been there longer. But let's see if we can find his depth chart. Yeah, there's nothing here to be worried about. And overall the roster too. Like my brother says, this is a team you like train up on. He's definitely right on that. Definitely a good way to put it. Like, it's not a intimidating team. Like past the first two players on the depth chart. Deion Dawkins is a really good left tackle. And then these two are obviously a pretty monster 1-2 punch. You know, these two, not James Cook, these two. No, but, and then, you know, Ray Davies is a very interesting running back as well, but he's a complementary running style to the Bills room. The Bills just don't have the best offensive line. I mean, they got some pretty big bums, and then yeah, you got Shakir, who's a 5th-round pick. He's the longest tenured in here. Keon Coleman's a rookie. Curtis Samuel. You know the term, what's it called? Journeyman running back. Curtis Samuel is a journeyman wide receiver. So, could he have a monster year? Sure. Could he have 1,000 plus? Maybe, but I highly doubt it. So Curtis Samuel's not the best potential, because at this point you're getting guys based off potential at this point in the draft. If you don't have your running backs by now, then you better get best available. Obviously, like any players you don't have by this point, probably want to do best available, but most sane people most people at this point in the draft, when you're picking 129th, are picking based solely off potential. So Shakir, in my opinion, fits that mold of having high potential. Here, let me pull it up right now. Yeah, and then, you know, he's a vet in this room too. Like, their depth chart is horrible. MVS, here you go. This is my Instagram. I make music too and videos, so that's my main thing, but definitely been more into football recently. Yeah, Curtis Samuel, I don't know if you got that. Here, I'll just keep it up for a second. But Shakir definitely has potential to be the Bills' number one. And Josh Allen is going to need somebody to throw to. Kincaid is probably going to end up second or third on the team in targets. James Cook is probably going to take up a lot of snaps. Ray Davis too. the Bills coordinator showed last year. First of all, that he's qualified. Yeah. First of all, that he's qualified to be the Bills coordinator because of how of how good of a game plan he had against the Steelers in the playoffs, which isn't saying much, against Steven Spagnuolo. His game plan for Spags was one of the best I've ever seen, if not the best I've ever seen. So, just based off those two games alone, I would call the Bills offensive coordinator the real deal. And if he shows this year that he can get it done with NBS and Mac Hollins, Ray Davis, like who are we even talking about right now? MB who? Oh yeah, that dude that got one catch against the Ravens in the playoffs. So if he can get it done there, then Josh Allen is going to need somebody to throw to. Keon Coleman is a rookie at the end of the day. Potential is potential, but he was a top of the second round draft pick. So could Keon Coleman have 1,000 yards? Could he be the guy? He could, but chances are Shakir is where you want to go, especially because he's going under Curtis Samuel, the journeyman receiver, and Keon Coleman, the rookie, the second round draft pick rookie. So, yep, Shakir's nice. $56. T. Higgins. I'll add you back on there too, by the way. 56, Mr. T. Higgins. Who did this? Who did this wheel? Ooh, what can I say about T. Higgins? I didn't really like him last year. I like him in the offseason. But as I've seen the Bengals come around, I think T. Higgins will be better than I've been leading myself to believe. 56 is a little rich for my blood, but is it really though? Like, they don't have any depth after Ja'Marr Chase. Chase might be wanting out. I mean, he just wants money. He doesn't want out, but T. Higgins. Browns defense. I'm definitely not picking the Browns defense. What comes up must come down, and as the number one defense with one of the easiest schedules, let's check this out. Let's see how this looks. It looks okay. I'm going to spice it up a bit. But yeah. Number 3 defense. 50 sacks. Hard to replicate 50 sacks. 18 picks. Hard to replicate a pick a game. Hard to replicate a schedule as terrible as this too. You got the Chicago Bears. And I think Fields was hurt this game. You got hurt Trevor Lawrence. You got Matthew Stafford, top 10, but low top 10. Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett, Lamar Jackson MVP. Most. Kyler Murray, I'm not even sure if he played this game. Geno Smith. Pretty sure Richardson was hurt by this point, so Gardner Minshew. Actually, it was Gardner Minshew. Brock Purdy. Lamar. Was it Ryan Tannehill at this point? Kenny Pickett. And Burrow. So. And Jake Browning. So you got. It wasn't even Zach Wilson here either. It was Mike White or I don't know, some random old bum quarterback, journeyman quarterback. So yeah, the Browns had the benefit of the doubt, like absolutely. Best QBs they played was maybe Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Burrow week 1, Purdy. Stroud was hurt here too. Yeah, Davis Mills. Like how easy could it have could it have been? Wasn't Fields hurt too? Yes. Oh no, Fields wasn't hurt. You get hurt, Trevor Lawrence. Like Browns, they got a great 3-level defense, great coordinator, great superstars, amazing secondary, but let's not act like this wasn't the biggest fluke year for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they didn't even play many difficult people. Top 10 QB wise, they had Purdy, Stafford, and Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow never shows up week 1 either, so let's not even count him. They had 3 top 10 quarterbacks that they played. And yeah, being the number 1 defense is mind-boggling. Did the defensive player of the year really skew it that bad? Let's check out this schedule. Okay, you followed. Let me follow you back. Man. That's my Instagram. Fantasy Dog. Yeah, what do you think? I feel like the Cleveland Browns defense being rated number 1 is a little shocking. Especially because they have a gauntlet. Yes. Yes, Beyond the Lit. Oh, sorry. If you don't use Instagram, I can give you my if you don't want you. Mm, yes. I wonder. I, I don't know if we can chat with a Facebook account. I can give you my Facebook if that works. If that doesn't work, doing Instagram. I just don't use Facebook much. I use it to like network with people and see how my friends are doing once a month. You know, like and support other accounts on there too. So if Instagram doesn't work, let me know. But what isn't gonna work is drafting the Browns as the number one defense. They play the Eagles, not a great offense to go up against. They play the NFC East. I mean, to be fair, that is a um, pretty good division to play this year. Not gonna. It's probably gonna be the worst offenses we've seen out of that division. Worst. No. That's not even true. We've seen worse. It's gonna be the worst. Worst we'll see them in a while. Maybe not the Eagles, but Commanders will probably only be looking up from now on. Giants will probably continue to build. And the Cowboys. So, yeah, conference-wise, that's probably the best division to play against teams' offenses. So Browns do have that going for them. And then they play the AFC West. So they do play a lot of bad offenses. Bad. The two worst divisions for offenses in the league. So the Browns probably going to be top 10 this year. Top 5. Does that work, Fantasy? Maybe the Bengals defense will be good this year. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. I don't think Bengals will be there where I'm drafting. At 12? Because it takes a major fall off. after the Bengals. I've always picked the Chiefs a little bit early, 10 picks early. Jeez. So I definitely see the hype with the AFC North and the schedules they have. I feel like these defenses are primed to have big years just because of how their schedules line up. So I understand why all 4 AFC North teams are rated as top 10, top 12. Wait. Yeah, I can see why the AFC North has everybody rated top 12. But offenses are week to week regardless. So are you really going to draft the Ravens to be a top 10 defense? And even then, it's all week to week anyways. So then you play the Chiefs, Giants, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. 9 points in 4 weeks combined. And that's against pretty bad offenses too. And Packers just don't have any on-ball players. No wonder why they're going all in on offense. Defense just does not have ball hawks. Kind of have sack artists, but they were feasted on sacks, actually. Who else? Underrated defense. I like the Vikings. I like their coordinator. They have a tall task this year, though. Bucks will have to make up for the Bucks offense. Bucks defense will. So who else? Raiders have a very good schedule to make the playoffs. Raiders could sneak into the wild card. Or look like they What else can I really say? My gosh, this team was horrible in every regard. Colts being 12th seems like a fever dream. Maybe they just 12th with Kenny Moore, DeForest. Hmm? Oh, I could have found you, Fantasy Dog. You spelled it wrong when you put it in chat. It's not hard at all. No biggie. I appreciate you, dude. Appreciate the encouragement. Yeah, I'm definitely a patterns and numbers type of guy too. So that's kind of why I'm trying to channel it into the fantasy realm and football in general realm. Wait, what is... Oh, plays against. Oh, dang. So the Giants couldn't get off the field. That was their issue. Just probably on the offense too. That's crazy. They were on the plate. Dang, I kind of have a little more respect for the Giants defense now. They were on the field for 410 plays. The next team to have 400 was the Commanders. We all know how they performed. Last. Next 400? Rams. Last. Oh my gosh. 25th. They could just not get off the field. All these 400 plays against teams were bottom of the barrel. Oh man. Always been. Oh man. Oh. That changed my outlook in minutes. Dude, I feel like I'm pretty good at this already. But Oh, my phone's almost dead. Oh, okay. Let me plug my phone in. Just like you. What do you mean? Eight. Okay. Do you want to do the phone call thing tonight? It's only 1 a.m. Also, does this strategy involve buying okay, give me about 20 minutes to let my phone charge. I'll stay on here, and then I'll probably just edit on stream while I'm talking to you and just leave the stream up but turn my mic off, obviously. Okay. Does this involve buying okay, good. Like, not like buying a course or anything like that. Buying this stupid stuff. Like, I can't even think anything right now. Yeah, like buying the in-depth metrics and stuff. Like their offensive metrics said they had a grade of 60.2. That's horrible. Okay, well, didn't they play the worst defenses? Or best defenses? Stuff like that. The metrics. Fantasy dog? Yeah. I probably won't get into the gambling side of it this year. Already put, you know, 200 dollars into future bets on the divisional and the playoffs and players over unders and stuff like that, different parlays. So I'm definitely not going to invest any more money into it, but getting a different perspective. Different perspective would be nice. Appreciate that. All right, we'll go into depth about one more player. We'll do in depth on one more player, and then then I'll call you up and set up this editing thing and all that. What was my number? 57. George Pickens. Man, do his highlights look good. This man is the receiver version of Bijan. Needed more targets, needed a better quarterback, needed a better system. The system he was in should have used him more. All that jazz. But if you just put on his highlights, you will see why he was rated 57th in the league. I feel like this is a pretty fair place for him too. I feel like this guy should be underneath him. And this guy should be underneath him. I mean, target share is one thing, but... And this guy should... He can just stay there. And this guy should... Yeah, that's pretty fair. We'll just put him down there. Oh, man. My gosh. That was a bad word. Two bad words. Why is this still on the screen? Three bad words. Probably shouldn't name my projects bad names. Say my name, say my name. George Pickens. Also, I'm also calling you too. You seem pretty cool too, but more so. Oh, this 16 man I joined. It'd be really cool to beat all these old geezers. At their own game. Alright. I have Cook as my 12 and Kamara as my 15. Chain is 9, so ranking wise, I would say yes. But a chain, he just has a amazing system built around him for it. Um, 8 yards per carry. Um, he was and like this, he was playing against pretty good defenses too. The Giants had a decently respectable defense, but he dropped 150 yards on them. Um, he dropped 100 on Baltimore and Buffalo and Denver. So as far as safety wise, um, I would say Cook is your best bet because um, the Bills are going to need him and they're going to have to run him. So Cook is definitely the safe pick. I'd get you there. Let's look at his depth chart. I'm pretty sure the Bills, they also fell off. Like their offense definitely took a step back as far as roster wise. Where's his depth chart at? Yeah, they have a rookie in Ray Davis who is a fourth round pick. Um, so he'll be competing with him and Ty Johnson, who has been a journeyman running back and has 1,000 yards. So James Cook is that guy in Buffalo. So it really comes down to what line you like. Do you like the Dolphins line, or do you like the Bills line? Um, I'm only ranking a chain above Cook because he has a better system around him. He has better players around him, um, and he's showed more uh, than Cook has. I'm pretty sure Cook is in his third year this year, and his rookie year he didn't do much either. He had 500 yards, so Cook is definitely going to be getting, yeah, I would say 200 to 250 carries, just because the Bills are going to need him to take pressure off their team. But a chain, I would not be shocked if a chain um, in next year's fantasy draft is like a top 10 dude, just because he had such a good year. Um, and this is all potential wise. Like James Cook could be this year's ETN. He could be the number three, and have a bunch of catches, bunch of rushes, bunch of yards, and like be on a team that is very inexperienced. You know, trying to figure out who they are and their identity, and like this could be James Cook next year for sure. But a chain has potential to do crazy stuff. I think he's like the fastest running back in the whole league, so definitely pick a chain. Kamara, um, I watched a video a couple weeks ago. I have Cook as my 12 and Kamara as my 15. Chain is 9, so ranking wise, I would say yes. But a chain, he just has a amazing system built around him for it. Um, 8 yards per carry. Um, he was and like this, he was playing against pretty good defenses too. The Giants had a decently respectable defense, but he dropped 150 yards on them. Um, he dropped 100 on Baltimore and Buffalo and Denver. So as far as safety wise, um, 8 yards per carry. happiest player that's ever touched your franchise, uh, and the greatest player that's been in that entire division in the last 10 years. Um, 49ers lost their defense coordinator, new system, probably not going to be, you know, great. So James Cook plays them. Who else we got? The Cardinals have one of the worst defensive rosters in the entire league. System wise, pretty good, but roster wise, pretty terrible. And then who do we got? Seahawks, who have a brand new head coach, brand new coordinators, brand new everything, brand new system. So don't expect them to be, a top 10 defense in the league and, stopping James Cook for 2 yards a carry. Like, also, James Cook, his depth chart, he has a rookie behind him, Ray Davis, and then a couple of journeyman running backs. So he doesn't have any competition in the backfield. Bills receiver core is also bad, so they're going to be relying on James Cook a lot more than they have, which is crazy because he had 240 carries. But also their offensive coordinator last year, as you can see, like he relied on the run to help Josh Allen out. You could see his production kind of descend, and then they ended up the Bills ended up firing their offensive coordinator mid-season, which was insane. And then they bring this new guy in, and like he gets more catches than he was before. He gets more carries, and I think their coordinator is going to continue to rely on James Cook. And the rookie's going to steal some snaps. The journeyman dudes are too, but the Bills are in a fight or flight year, and they're definitely going to be fighting to making the playoffs all year. It's going to be a battle. And then matchup wise, they also play the AFC South, and that division's nothing to write home about either. Defensive wise, rushing defensive wise. So number 13th ranked running back for the 2024 fantasy football season is Josh Jacobs. So ESPN ranks him as the 16th. FantasyPros.com ranks him as a 14th. I have him as my 13th. Really, the only knock on James Cook or Josh Jacobs has been his health. He's a 28th ranked running back last year. Not only because the Raiders' offensive line was so terrible, but also like he couldn't stay healthy. Like he had pretty good games when he was in there, but he missed the entire fantasy playoffs. So that's not good for somebody looking to pick him in their fantasy playoffs. So that's really the only thing you could say about Josh Jacobs that is negative. And have it be true. He's in a perfect storm to have a good year this year. So if he can stay healthy, and the Packers can stay healthy, and Packers live up to what they are showing like they could be, as in like winning the division most likely, and also fighting to winning the conference. Josh Jacobs is going to be in that fold. If you look at the top NFC teams, it's very top heavy. You have the Eagles, Lions, 49ers, and Packers. So the Packers could win their 2 division games against the Lions, then they beat them out. And then the 49ers, there's nowhere to go but down for the 49ers. Brock Purdy had the most efficient quarterback here by a mile. So are you going to replicate and be the most efficient quarterback once again? Like, it's just probably not going to happen. Also, Ayuk is missing training camp right now and missing time there. Their second string linebacker got hurt in the Super Bowl as well and tore his ACL. So their 49ers are just kind of fighting to keep it all together, and um, Packers can probably beat them out too. And then the Packers also play the Eagles in the start of the year. So if they win that, then like they get the tiebreaker over them. Packers are fighting for the number one seed in the NFC, and it all really comes down to health and their defense. But if you have somebody fighting to be top three in the conference, and you have their starting running back and he can stay healthy, like why would you not want Josh Jacobs? So moving on, we've talked about him enough. Josh Jacobs, my 14th ranked running back for this fantasy football 2024 season is Joe Mixon. Now, Joe Mixon was the 11th ranked running back, ESPN. That's where they have ranked him, and 16th ranked by FantasyPros.com. He is my, what is he even ranked? 14th. He's my 14th ranked. Why is Joe Mixon ranked like this when he was the 6th ranked? Mostly, there's a lot more questions in Houston than there are answers. They just brought in Diggs. They brought in Mixon. Mixon looked like he lost a step last year, but he still had a good year and he still had a great career. But why else is he ranked this low? What do we gotta say about him? He's already has an injury, so that's not good. He had a pretty good fantasy playoffs show out. He had 15, 9, and 18. But I don't know. I don't really remember what I was gonna say about him. He had a lot of carries. Like he wasn't the most. He definitely wasn't efficient running the ball at all. 4 yards a carry. I think that's kind of why the Texans were fine with, not having him on their team anymore. The Bengals. And then only other thing with him is he had 52 catches last year. If you watch the Texans last year, they didn't really have great offensive system set up to pass the ball to the running back. So you'd imagine this number is going down. This number can probably stay the same, but the Houston rushing blocking wasn't that great either. So this is probably the ceiling for Joe Mixon's rushing touchdowns. And then, the catches are probably going to go down. So Mixon was healthy all year too. Like he just did not have as good of a year as he could have with being healthy all year and with having 257 carries and 52 catches. He had the ball in his hands 300 times and he only ended up with 1,400 yards. Like that is kind of why people are knocking Mixon and saying that he's not going to replicate 6th ranked year, just because the Texans don't have the best scheme to give this type of production to their running back. They have a good backup running back. They have a ton of people to throw the ball. Like you got to split the ball up somehow. Like is Noah Brown just not going to get the ball anymore? Is Tank Dell or Nico Collins not going to get the ball anymore? Like it's just going to be tough for Mixon. And where's this other guy at? Oh, all right. Anyways, we're moving on from Mixon. All right, moving to my 15th ranked running back for the my this is my 15th ranked running back for the 2024 fantasy football season. It is Alvin Kamara. Okay. So Kamara was the 15th projected running back from ESPN and the 13th ranked or projected running back from fantasypros.com. Kamara rushed twice for 3 yards and did not draw a target. Wow. Man, he had a good year. So, to talk about Kamara, let's go over how I'm ranking these running backs. So, I'm going off schedule, fantasy playoff impact, system, and surrounding team. So, surrounding team, Kamara had one of the worst ranked offensive lines in the entire league last year. And it's only going to look worse because their right tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, is out for the season. So, they're like one of the best tackles in the league and best offensive lineman for the Saints is now gone. So they're gonna have rookies in there and inexperienced guys blocking for them. He also had 75 catches last year, which was one of the top in the league. So it's going to be hard to replicate that amount of catches. He's always been a catching running back, anyways, but catches really saved him because he had 4 yards a carry. Like, he's behind the worst line in the league. Carr couldn't stay healthy. He had some of the worst quarterback play in the league. So surrounding team is not going to be helping him out too much. I think the Saints' number 2 is Raheed Shaheed. So they got a good receiver, and that's about it on the Saints' offensive line. Like, I think they're tight end dropped like a game-winning touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, just does not have a good team surrounding him. Kamara's still talented, but he's also getting up there in age. I think this is he's 29 years old. This is his 8th year, and he has Derek Carr throwing him the ball. So, offensively, Kamara's going to be struggling, and I think that's kind of the consensus with everybody, is that they know the Saints' offense is really, but their defense, and this is why he's 15th ranked. Their defense is definitely took a step forward. They got Chase Young, they got Willie Gay, Kool-Aid McKinstry in the draft. They also have the longest standing coach in the division. The Panthers have a brand new coach, and then who are the other teams? Panthers, Bucks, and Falcons. They have a brand new coach too. So Saints are definitely primed to be a playoff team, just because they have the longevity at coach and in the locker room as their GM. Definitely are set up to be a playoff team, and that is kind of the allure with Kamara. If their offense can get it together and be good, then they will be a good team to have making the playoffs.